Hi everybody, it's me and I'm back at Community Academy's School Garden. Today we're going to take a closer look at flowers and then we're going to make a simple craft called a flower press. The thing I love most about this project is going out and collecting the flowers that you're going to use in your flower press. But of course, ask before you pick. As you're going out and collecting your flowers, I just urge you to take a closer look at some of the ways that the flowers are. There are so many different types of flowers. They come in all different types of shapes and sizes, colors, and a lot of them are really different from each other, but a lot of them also have some things in common. In some flowers, it's really hard to tell, but in other flowers, it's really easy to see the different parts of the flower. So when you're out there collecting flowers, try to see if you can see the different parts in each flower that you're collecting. The function of a flower is to help make sure that seeds develop. So all the different structures in a flower help make sure that the plant can reproduce. The idea behind a flower press is that these petals are filled with water and are pretty moist, but when you put them and layer them in between sheets of newspaper and tuck them in between the cardboard or in between the pages of a heavy book, it starts to dry them out and make them nice and flat, and you can use those later for a special craft or just to preserve the beauty of the flower itself. To make the flower press, you need a couple of materials. Some pieces of cardboard cut into small squares, some pieces of newspaper also cut into small squares, and some rubber bands. If you can't find these things, no big deal. You can also just use a big book. Our next step is to layer the flowers in between sheets of newspaper and cardboard. So I'll take a piece of newspaper, put it on my cardboard, and then lay my flower on it. And then you can put another flower in this layer. Just try to make sure that they're not touching. Then I'm going to put another piece of newspaper on top of it. And I'm going to go ahead and put another piece of cardboard here. But I'm going to build another layer by then putting my newspaper. And this time I'm going to use some leaves. I want to see what those look like when they're all dried out. And lay them nice and flat, like that. That one's pretty much taking up the whole spot, so then I'm just going to put another piece of newspaper, another piece of cardboard. I'm going to do in one more layer, so another piece of newspaper, some flowers from the cilantro plant, newspaper, and then cardboard. Now I have a thick, multi-layered cardboard flower sandwich. Okay, the last step is to wrap it up with some rubber bands as tight as you can. Remember, the more pressure, the better. If you can't find cardboard and rubber bands around your house, no big deal. Just try to find a big book, or you could get multiple small books and just stack them on top of each other. You can basically do the same thing inside of the pages of your book. So you'd lay down a piece of newspaper, then lay down your leaves or flowers or whatever you want to press. Okay, then you would put down another piece of newspaper. And then you can turn a couple pages and do another one. We'll do that, cover it up, turn the pages, and we can do as many as we want really. So you could do another one right here and you could really fill up a full book. What I would do is try to put more weight on top of these things. So if you're doing it in the cardboard flower press, you can put that down and stack some stuff on top of it so that it's heavy. Or if you're just doing it in a book, you can stack multiple books on top of each other. Once your flowers are in their flower press, you just have to wait a couple of weeks. Okay, I just took my flowers out of their flower presses. I use the cardboard method and the big book method. And after a couple weeks, they are really thin and flat. Their color has remained, but they're pretty dried out. And so now they're ready to be glued onto a piece of paper, if you'd like. I'm going to use a glue stick because you don't want to use a lot of glue. And I'm going to glue them onto this piece of paper to make a piece of art to give to somebody. All right, everybody, that's it for today. Thanks for exploring flowers with me and making a flower press, and I'll see you soon.